He has denied it, and so I accept that he has denied it, and I would like to clarify that position because in the end the Prime Minister was keen for us to focus on the policies, not the individual.
Tensions flare live on air as David Lammy challenges Keir Starmer's leadership. You're not going to believe what just happened on live TV. That's how many political watchers described one of the most tense moments ever seen between two of Labour's top figures, David Lammy and Keir Starmer. What started as a calm television interview turned into a political storm. And yes, the tension was visible. Cameras rolled, microphones were on, and millions were watching when David Lammy said something that left Keir Starmer visibly unsettled. No shouting, no insults, but the meaning behind Lammy's words? It hit hard. Let's break it down because this wasn't just another TV exchange. This was a public test of loyalty, leadership, and credibility right at the heart of the Labour Party. The scene unfolded on a popular Sunday politics program, one watched by both insiders and the public alike. David Lammy had been invited to discuss Labour's position on several international and domestic issues from foreign aid to immigration, and of course, party unity. But midway through the interview, when asked whether he fully supported Keir Starmer's leadership direction, Lammy paused. That pause, lasting only a few seconds, felt like an eternity in political terms. Then he said quietly, "The Labour movement has always been about more than one man. Leadership means listening, not just commanding." And with that you could see the look on Starmer's face change. He was sitting just off camera, waiting for his segment, when Lammy made that remark. Producers later confirmed he looked tense, whispering to aides as the host pressed further. Lammy didn't retract. He doubled down, saying, "Our strength comes from conversation, not control." That was all it took. Within minutes, clips of that moment were being clipped, shared, and replayed across social media. Within an hour, Twitter, or X, was ablaze. One viewer wrote, "Lammy basically just told Starmer to step back live on TV. That's massive." Another comment read, "Finally, someone in Labour has the courage to speak about how centralised the leadership has become." But not everyone agreed. Supporters of Starmer fired back, saying Lammy was being irresponsible and feeding division. One Labour councillor told Sky News anonymously, "This kind of public moment is exactly what we don't need right now. It makes us look fractured again." Yet others, even within the party, felt differently. A former Labour MP, speaking to The Guardian, said, "It's about time someone reminded Starmer that the party isn't a one-man brand." David Lammy has long been known for his eloquence and his calculated timing. He doesn't speak impulsively. Every word counts. So when he says something like that and does it live on air, it's never accidental. For months, whispers inside Westminster have hinted at quiet tensions between Lammy's wing of the party and Starmer's inner circle. The issue? Direction. Lammy reportedly believes Labour needs to reconnect emotionally with working-class voters, not just present polished policy speeches. Starmer, on the other hand, has been laser-focused on discipline, electability, and keeping the party image tightly controlled before the next general election. Two visions. One goal. But the gap between them, it's starting to show. And when that gap spills out onto live television, that's when it becomes political news gold. According to one senior Labour strategist quoted by The Independent, Lammy is too experienced to make a mistake like that. It was deliberate, and Starmer knows it. Another insider added, "There's been frustration for a while. Lammy's team feels sidelined, especially on foreign policy decisions that overlap with Number 10's shadow team." Meanwhile, Conservative figures couldn't resist jumping in. One Tory MP posted on X, "If Labour's own front bench can't agree on who's in charge, how can they run the country?" That comment, clearly political theatre, still hit a nerve. Even some neutral commentators noted that Labour's internal discipline, long considered Starmer's strength, might now be its greatest weakness. Among ordinary voters, the reactions tell an interesting story. Some see Lammy's comment as refreshing honesty proof that real debate still exists within Labour. Others view it as risky timing, a distraction when the party should be laser-focused on the election ahead. On YouTube, clips of the moment have crossed over 1 million views, with comment sections divided between "Lammy was brave" and "This is why Labour keeps losing focus." The broader public sentiment seems to echo a single thought: Labour's leadership team looks tense, and Britain is watching. Behind closed doors, reports suggest Starmer and Lammy held a private discussion following the broadcast. Neither side has confirmed the details, but sources close to the parties say it was constructive but direct. Starmer later appeared at a press event where he dismissed any notion of division, saying, "We're united in purpose, focused on change." But the body language. Observers noticed it was tight, his jaw set, his tone firm. Lammy, meanwhile, kept his cool, saying simply, "We all want the same outcome, a stronger, fairer Britain." Still, political watchers know that unity statements often hide deeper power dynamics. So was this just a small misunderstanding blown up by media? Or the first visible crack in Labour's leadership wall? It's hard to say. But one thing is certain: the timing, the tone, and the setting were too perfect to be accidental. And in politics, nothing said live on national TV is ever just a slip. Because when David Lammy looks into the camera and talks about leadership, meaning listening, not commanding, he's not just talking to Keir Starmer. He's talking to you, the voters. The people who'll decide which version of Labour, the one that listens or the one that commands, will shape Britain's future. And the question that lingers tonight is simple. Was this the beginning of a new conversation or the start of a deeper divide?